Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to Primetime Local News. We have a very exciting show. We have a musician who's playing on the Vic Juba stage in about an hour. David James is here, and he's going to play a little song from Johnny Cash. So stay tuned for that. And then Lisa's on news and then also sports. So busy weekend in sports.
Yeah, lots of volleyball this weekend, actually. The Barons volleyball tournament, Barons Blast volleyball tournament happened this weekend. So lots of volleyball, and also the Rustlers had their home games too. So,
all right. Well, we look forward to both of those stories. But right now we're going to toss it over to Brittany, who's taken in some Halloween activities.
That's right. Today I am at Simple Farmer and I'm going to be taking part in one of their hands-on classes. They get crafty and creative here, and we're going to see whether or not I can learn a thing or two. And you guessed it, it's that season. It's Halloween time, so we're going to be doing some carving, some pumpkin carving. So stay tuned. We're going to have more of that coming up later on in the show, but right now we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with them.
Awesome. Thank you, Brittany. Flu shots were available in the border city starting today. The Sask Health Authority is encouraging everyone to roll up a sleeve and help stop the spread of flu. The shot is free and available to anyone older than 6 months of age. It's the only protection against this year's strain of influenza virus. Trisha Bobitsko is organizing flu shot clinics in Lloydminster, says the virus is being circulating since October and November. And
it takes about 3 seconds to actually come and get it. It takes effect in your body for about 2 to 3 weeks. It takes effect for your immune response, and then you're protected all year.
Bobesco says the more people who get the flu shot will protect the vulnerable in our community, including infants, seniors, and those with compromised immune systems. Anyone over the age of 5 can also receive their flu shot at a pharmacy. And the village of Glendon came out looking snazzy over the weekend in an effort to raise money for a local fire hall. Over 400 people came out to enjoy a night of charity, drink, and pierogies, and it was all an effort to raise money for the piece of equipment the firefighters needed.
This winter we're getting our MD pumper replaced, and the village has set some money aside to buy the pumper we have right now, and all the proceeds tonight will be going to buy new tools and equipment for the truck.
The night included local band Midlife Crisis, dancing, and live and silent auctions. Numbers are still pouring in, but Cote expects over $30,000 was raised to go towards the truck. Cote called the event an overwhelming success and hopes to do it again in 2019. And the numbers are in for the 4th annual Sirens and Sapphires Gala, and it looks to be their best one yet. This year, the gala raised $100,000 for the Lloydminster Rescue Squad. The sold-out event marked the 34th year of the Rescue Squad and saw around 450 in attendance.
This year we had a platinum sponsor, which was Boundary Ford, which we're super excited to have. We've never had a platinum sponsor throughout the years of our galas, so it was nice to have that backing for the gala this year. And for the first time ever, we were able to reach our fundraising goal of $100,000 this year, so we're super happy for that.
The proceeds raised by the gala will go towards day-to-day operations, updating of equipment, overtime, and payments towards rescue squad vehicles. The squad thanks the community of Lloydminster and all who attended and looks forward to their 5th annual gala on October 5th, 2019. And a local man is looking to restore a special vehicle that was used in a parade to welcome the Queen to Ottawa back in 1957. Gerard Miller's father bought the car in 1957 and stored it in a garage. Once Miller bought his family's farm, he also bought the car, and it became his dream to see the car restored. Once he moved to Lloydminster, he found a few people who were willing to help.
It was sitting in a garage underneath a canvas tarp. And I'll tell you, I can remember climbing underneath that tarp and pretending we were driving it, especially the school chums. And my sisters would all get in the back seat, and away we'd go. We weren't going anywhere. It was just the idea that it was the thrill of being in this car.
Miller hopes to see the car featured in shows across Saskatchewan and Alberta, and his hope is to have the car fully completed within 2 years. Harvest for farmers in the Lakeland area has been frustrating due to recent weather, and our Justin Marshall met with a farmer in the St. Vincent area who says although they do expect to be done by Tuesday, it hasn't been without challenges.
With better temperatures than we've had this week, farmers are back on the field like Lynn, who farms just outside here in St. Vincent. We're on the combine. Yeah. You've taken me out, showed me around. How's the crop looking this year?
The crop looks great, to average to above average yields, and it's coming in nicely.
How tough has it been with the weather constantly changing? It's like, oh, I don't want to be fall, let's go winter, and then back to fall. And
yeah, the weather is always a struggle, but you hope it cooperates, and lucky enough that we are finally getting that weather that we've been waiting for so long, and we're getting it now.
Leading up, I mean, it was -10 in the morning last week, and now it's like 3, 4, 5 in the morning. When all these temperatures were all over the place, what was going through your mind?
Well, it's definitely a little stressful, and you try not to worry too much. You know, when you see snow falling down, you get a little disheartened, but we live in Alberta, and you hope that it'll melt and we can get back to it.
You seem to be really passionate about farming. Why do you love it so much, Lynn?
I love farming. Every day is a new challenge presents itself, and we love it because of that.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and good luck with your crops this year.
Thank you.
For Primetime Local News, I'm Justin Marshall.
Farmer joins us now, and she's going to take us through from start to finish today how to make a great Halloween pumpkin. It's only a few days away. Halloween is creeping up, so it is the season. 'Tis the season of pumpkin carving. So now, Joanne, how do I select what kind of pumpkin I should be carving?
Well, we've had some like early seasonal frost, so you want to make sure first of all that your pumpkin's firm and has no soft spots or moldy spots and hasn't been left out to freeze.
And now how can we tell that?
You would tell that just by looking at it. You want it to be firm, you don't want it to have any wet or rotten pieces on it, no mold or mildew growing on it.
And you mentioned if you knock on it.
If you knock and you get a hollow sound, then you know you're good to go.
So I want to hear a hollow sound in those pumpkins.
Yes.
So once I've selected my pumpkin, what's my next step?
The next step is just to cut the top off. So basically you come in just using a basic little paring knife, I find is the safest way. And you're going to cut your top down at a 45-degree angle. You want to cut it at an angle so that the lid doesn't fall in.
Right, so it needs to have that support right there.
Yep, absolutely. The next step is to peel the top off, and then you're left with all the guts. So the bigger the pumpkin, the more guts you have. So you're just going to gently trim all that off, and then I have a really quick hack to look after the basics.
So now we're actually going to run out of time, but we are going to have more from Joanne coming up later on in the show. So don't worry, we're going to show you how to get all those guts out of your pumpkin and some tips and tricks really for pumpkin carving this season. But right now we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with them to find out what's going on.
All right, thank you so much, Brittany. Looking to our temperatures here in the border city, sitting at 7 degrees, so we have dropped off a few degrees since we reached about a daytime high of 11 degrees earlier in the day. Mostly sunny, which is a great start to the week. Nowhere near these records, though, either or. 20 degrees back in 1999 and -11 in 2002. And luckily, we're not in those minuses just yet. Looking to our satellite radar from the last few hours, not a whole lot of activity coming in, just some cloud cover in and out of the area, and no watches and warnings currently in effect, which is great news for those farmers who are out busy this weekend trying to get the grain in the bin. As we look to our current temperatures, 7 degrees here in Lloydminster, 14 degrees in Edmonton, 10 degrees in Red Deer, 10 in Rocky Mountain House, 9 in Jasper, and that's also the same number in Whitecourt. A little bit warmer, 10 degrees in Athabasca as we look over into Saskatchewan. A little bit cooler than we're seeing in Alberta, 4 degrees in North Battleford, 4 in Saskatoon, 2 in Melfort, and 4 degrees also in Prince Albert. As we look to our numbers across the broadcast region, North Battleford currently sitting at 4 degrees, so they have dropped off quite a bit from the daytime high. Going to drop down to -3 overnight. No clouds still in sight, though, and tomorrow a high of 12 degrees and plenty of sunshine. And then Cold Lake currently sitting at 10 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud in the area, mostly sunny. And then that's going to dissipate overnight to -2. And then tomorrow, plenty of sunshine and a high of 10 degrees. Here in the border city, currently sitting at 7 degrees. We did reach 11 earlier on in the day. Overnight, going to drop down to -2, and then tomorrow back up to 10 degrees and lots of sunshine. Now, tonight you do have to factor in the wind. We are going to have some gusts of wind reaching up to 20 km/h. So it is going to feel more like that -8 to 10 range at some parts of the night. Wednesday, however, going to see some clouds move in, but we're going to reach a daytime high of 11 degrees, -1 for the low there. And then Thursday, even warmer, sitting at 12 degrees. A mix of sun and cloud there, mostly cloudy in the area, and then a low of 0. But this warming trend is going to stay at least until the weekend. So I'll have those details for you coming up later in the show.
And 9 years ago, stolen vehicles were a big problem here in the border city. Flash forward to present time, and it's still a consistent issue. In this week's retrospect, we take a look at how to prevent this problem.
In the month of September, there were 22 stolen vehicles in the border city. That number is well above the normal average.
It is not unreasonable in the size of the city, given some other cities that I won't go into details of them, but I've worked in other places where 22 isn't outrageously high. That being said, it's extremely high if you're one of the 22 people that's lost their vehicle.
Rusk adds that there is plenty one can do to keep their car from being stolen.
Ultimately, taking the keys out of the vehicle is the first place to start with not having your vehicle stolen. Second place to start is to lock your vehicle. If you take those precautionary steps, you'll reduce the number of vehicle thefts. People are doing these largely as crimes of opportunity. They're going through and checking handles on vehicles.
In the cooler months, it's easy to leave your car running to warm up in the morning or just to run a couple of errands, but this makes you a big target for car theft.
The Lloydminster area does have a increase in stolen vehicles over probably the last few years. So the RCMP just want to warn the public on how you can keep your vehicle safe from being stolen. Never leave it running with the doors open or keys in it at any time, because if you do, somebody might steal it. If you run into 7-Eleven or another store to grab like a carton of milk or something, always turn your vehicle off.
Another way to make sure your car is left alone is to remove all valuables and keep them out of sight.
Everybody's always looking for quick money, iPads, iPhones, purses, wallets, identification, anything valuable left in your vehicle. If it's left unlocked, it will be taken. So always lock your vehicle. If you leave your vehicle outside, don't leave your garage door opener in it, because we don't want anybody to have access to your garage.
Retrospect is brought to you by Webb's Machinery. Webb's Machinery, your New Holland dealer in Vermilion, Bakerville, and Lamont.
And now we're going to take a look at your stock market prices for today. The curse of rural crime on the prairies is having one upside. Gerard Lampow finds out how one community has been supporting each other.
The crime wave we've talked about out in this area, we've been hit quite a bit with theft along with a lot of the neighbors.
Apart from trying to produce food, rural Albertans have struggled with criminals visiting their property. Guard George says the Marwayne area has been rallying.
We had a set of individuals in our yard at about 4 in the morning one day, and we had a group chat, and the first truck was there 5 minutes after I called for help. And we never caught those ones. And then just last week, good friends down the road, we actually caught 6 of them.
The community has been taking responsibility to look out for each other.
With the group chat and just being neighbors helping neighbors, and I think we're starting to stick together. Everyone's kind of had it out here. It's been enough. It's not really the RCMP's fault. They're really understaffed. I feel for those people when they come out. You know, the best they can get there is 20, 30 minutes before they're even on your doorstep, right? People are mad at the cops, but I don't think it's their fault. They're doing a good job.
The police remain vigilant, and even with the harvest rush on, George admits to being pulled over in the early hours of the morning. It helps to know your officers.
Well, we've had meetings. We're working with the police officers. It's pretty sad that we know the officers like personally and by name.
If anything, he points out that neighbors and communities need to support each other.
Everyone's just got to stick together, get to know your cops, get to know the legal system, what the rules are.
Gerard Lampow, Primetime Local News.
And now we're going to take a look at those egg prices.
City Center Auto Body is proud to offer the paintless dent removal system. This works by going behind the panel, working out small dents. Lloydminster's trusted auto body shop for over 35 years.
Taking a look at your sports now, volleyball fans were treated to plenty of excitement over the weekend with more than 20 teams competing in the Barons Blast tournament, and the Lakeland Wrestlers winning their opening home matches on Friday. While the women are off to their expected undefeated start, the men's team is already starting to see some of their hard work pay off. Our Josh Ryan has more.
The women's volleyball team has begun the ACAC season much like they did last fall, winning their first 4 matches and making it look easy. The men's team does not have championship expectations from around the conference, yet they've also had a solid start, going 3-1 2 weeks in, including an impressive come-from-behind victory Friday night against the Nate Oops.
A lot of other teams would maybe have given up at that point, and our guys showed like the hard work that they've put in. Has been tremendous, and I think it showed in that 4th and especially in the 5th set when I think we had an extra gear that Nate didn't.
The Wrestlers have always lost this match in the past, but having an experienced starting lineup paid dividends as the squad made key in-game adjustments.
It just goes to show like having some veteran experience on the floor makes a huge difference because they can go in there and they can make those changes as a group, and they're not going to falter no matter which way they go with it.
It's proof for the players that the extra training over the summer and fall makes a difference on the court.
We did some 6 a.m. runs and a lot of work over preseason. It really showed in that 5th set. The guys were feeling pretty good. Don't get me wrong, we were gassed, but I think we were much fitter than them, and it really showed in the 5th set.
It's also encouraging that multiple players course-corrected from mental lapses throughout the match. That speaks to a belief within the group that has not existed before.
They weren't second energy from the rest of the group, which is huge. So they're able to battle back and fight through it. And again, give credit to the rest of their teammates for picking them up and maybe carrying them for a little bit, and then the rest of the group, getting it done for us.
It's just a new confidence that you can see in the guys that they feel like they can always win, and as soon as we feel like we can win, then we're a chance in any game, which is something we really haven't seen before.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local Sports.
And the men's and women's basketball teams were also in action and had a mixed first week of the ACAC season against the Nate Ooks. Both Nate teams are huge rivals in the North Division and are also championship contenders come February. Friday night was a nail-biter for the women's team, hanging on to win 58-57, thanks in part to 10 points from the bench from Janelle Charachuk. And the men had an easier time in an 83-67 win, which included a combined 50 points from Tay Holiday and Rashawn Russell. And on Saturday's home opener, the Ooks got their revenge, starting with the Rustlers women falling to hold a 9-point lead in the 4th quarter, losing 56-55. And the men's game also came down to the final possession, and despite second-year guard Brandon Isaac's 23 points, Nate knocked off the Rustlers 72-70. Both teams are in action Friday night against the Augustana Vikings. And now we're going to head over back to Brittany, who is pumpkin carving today.
Joanne joins us again, and now we've removed the top from our pumpkin, so tell me what's next.
So what's next is we're going to remove all the guts that's inside. So traditionally you'd use a spoon and you would go around and like scrape the edges, but it's really time consuming and a little bit gross.
It does always get you really slimy, doesn't it?
We have a little hack here, and that's just to take a little whipping beater and put it on your electric drill, and then you're just going to blend the inside.
I never would have thought.
Yeah, that's a little Western. Okay, so once that's done, yuck, we can just discard the contents into this bowl.
Oh wow, that really is a time saver. Like,
done and done.
That was quick.
Yeah. So that's that. Then you just remove the excess. You want your pumpkin to be nice and clean on the inside so that when you light it up, it's not looking like that.
Oh, okay. So then next we're going to be taking some what's the best way to make a shape? Traditionally, you know, you're making just like the two little triangles, you're carving out a nose and a pumpkin smile. Mine were never that good growing.
I'm so old school that at this point I probably would just wing it, but for tonight's sake, what we have is a little piece of paper. We've printed it off online and just put a little piece of tape on there, and so we can just stick that on there, make sure it's where we want it, and then with the little stencils tool, we're going to poke a hole.
And you said that that's a vinyl stencil tool is what you're using?
Yep, it's just a little sharp edge. You could use anything you find at home, but basically you're poking an outline, tracing it.
So we're making it very simple to go in and cut with that small paring knife again. Is that what we would use?
Absolutely, you betcha.
Perfect. Well, thanks for sharing all of those tips with us. And we are going to have more coming up a little bit later on in the show. We're going to see how our pumpkin turns out. But right now, we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with them.
All right, thank you so much, Brittany. Starting it off with this sunny shot, much like we saw today. Beautiful start to the week. This was sent in by Kristen. If you have any weather shots you would like to see here on Primetime Local News, make sure you send those in, and we'd love to show them. Looking at our current temperatures across the map, currently sitting at 7 degrees here in the border city. We have dropped about 4 degrees since our daytime high already. 9 in Vermilion, 9 in Vegreville, 12 in Edmonton. They were sitting at 14 just about an hour ago, so they've already dropped 2 degrees. We are going to feel some cooler temperatures into the overnight lows this evening with the wind chill. So 8 degrees in Provost, and that's the same number in Macklin. As we move over into this side, 8 also in Maidstone, 4 degrees in North Battleford, 5 in St. Walburg, and 6 in Meadow Lake. As we look up north, 5 degrees in Buffalo Narrows, 5 also in La Loche, 0 degrees in La Ronge, and then -2 in Flin Flon. In Alberta, a little bit warmer, and they're sitting mostly above the seasonal averages for the most part. So 8 degrees in Grand Prairie, 10 in Peace River, 7 in High Level, 9 degrees in Fort McMurray, and that's the same number in Slave Lake. And as we look south, even warmer. 12 degrees for Lethbridge, 13 for Medicine Hat, 10 in Banff, 11 in Calgary, 8 in Coronation. And then over on to the Saskatchewan side, we're seeing 7 in Swift Current, and that's the same number in Kindersley, 8 degrees in Moose Jaw, a little bit cooler at 4 degrees in Estevan. But as we look to our numbers for tomorrow, going to reach 10 degrees, so pretty much the same kind of day that we had today here in the border city. 12 degrees in Maidstone, and that's going to be the same number in North Battleford, 10 in St. Walburg, 11 in Meadow Lake. And then over in Alberta, 13 for Provost, 13 for Vegreville, 13 for Edmonton, 10 for St. Paul, and then 10 in Bonnyville. For the kids heading out to school, gonna be a little chilly at 8 a.m. We are gonna feel more like -8 degrees overnight. So gonna feel a little chilly, so do bundle up then, but it's gonna warm up. So 2 degrees by recess time, plenty of sunshine, 6 degrees over the lunch hour, and then by the time you head home, 10 degrees and sunny. So tomorrow we are going to reach an overnight low of -2, and then Wednesday clouds are going to start to roll in. A little bit warmer though, so we're going to see 11 degrees, -1 for the low, and then even more cloud cover on Thursday, but a daytime high of 12 degrees, 0 there for the low. And then Friday and Saturday, the sunshine is going to come back out, but 11 degrees on Friday, 2 degrees for the low. And then Saturday is when we are going to start to cool off. So averages for this time of the year are 9. So we're sitting above them until the weekend. So 8 degrees on Saturday, 1 degree for the low. Sunday, we're going to see 8 degrees again, but a little bit cooler into the overnight, -2. And then Monday, 59% chance of a rain-snow mix. So we're going back into those seasonal temperatures. 4 degrees there and -1 for the low. So at least we're sitting good until the weekend.
And now we're going to head back to Brittany, who is pumpkin carving today.
The pumpkin class is underway here at Simple Farmer. As you can hear, the whole class behind us is busy working and carving and cleaning out their pumpkins and making their own creations. Now, when we've got this one all cut out now, but we do want to remind people at home, if you are carving your pumpkins, to be
careful. Yes, absolutely.
Very careful with those small knives, because we did have a little blood on our pumpkin earlier. We did.
It's all good.
But it's Halloween, so. Now, once you get your pumpkin carved out, it's important to make sure that you have the eye holes and everything quite all the way back square so you get the most light?
Absolutely. You want it to take all of your perforations and make them go all the way through so that you can obviously have light come through your carving.
And now you had something interesting. Instead of using a candle, you're actually using glow sticks.
I picked these up super cheap at the dollar store for a pack of 25, and I thought, what a great alternative to lighting candles and like the dangers of candles. So this is just a glow stick. You snap it, and when you're ready, just drop it in and see how it goes.
And lights up the pumpkin.
Absolutely.
Now, you also had a tip for viewers at home that if they want to preserve their pumpkin longer, they can actually, what can they put on it, sorry?
So you can make a mixture of bleach and water. So you just take a capful of bleach in a little bucket of water, and then you're just going to submerge your pumpkin in, and that will preserve it or keep bacteria from growing on it.
And how long do you leave it in the water?
Just dip it. Another alternative is using a bathroom spray with bleach in it.
So bleach will help preserve your pumpkin and help
Absolutely.
it last longer. So drop the glow stick in and you can put your top back on and you're ready for Halloween.
You betcha.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for sharing all those tips and tricks with us. Right now, we're just going to head back over to the studio and check in with them to find out what's going on.
All right, well, over the weekend, I went into a few stores, and everywhere seems to have their Christmas setup already up. It's not even Halloween, so I think it's a little too early. But that was our question of the day. When do you start decorating for Christmas or the holidays? And because it's only 64 days away, I can't believe
That's
it.
crazy.
I know, and some of the comments we got, Caitlin says, outside on November 12th, unless they get the lights up earlier, or December 1st. A lot of people are saying they wait until December 12th.
Right.
When do you usually start?
I'm more of a procrastinator, so I probably on the opposite side of the spectrum. I start December 1st.
I feel like I'm kind of the same. Yeah. A couple of our comments are saying last year they went up on December 20th and came down on December 26th.
Wow. They were on it.
Yeah, so they were up for less than a week, and that was sent in by Kayla. And then, but most people are saying they at least wait until after Remembrance Day, which I think is great. I feel like at the minimum, you have to get past Halloween.
Yeah, it's the stores that are like mixed in where you get the Halloween decorations and Christmas in one store at one time.
Well, I
That's
guess you
too
could
much
just
for
go
me.
shopping for all your holidays at once.
Yeah,
but
that's
there
true.
you go. Anyways, we're going to switch gears now and look at our pets of the day because we have some really cute ones today. So this is Skylar, and Skylar has two different colored eyes. Very cool. That was sent to us by Jana. And then next up we have, these guys have no names, but they're too adorable not to include. They have little matching bow ties and bandanas. So that was sent to us by Natalie. Thank you so much for sending this adorable photo in. And then we have Rick, who looks like he was out for a photo shoot. Yeah, this was sent by Coralie. That's pretty cute there. And then next up we have Chloe, who's ready for Halloween. She's a hot dog. And that was sent to us by Lisa. And then this one's my favorite of the day. Look at this guy, Gus. Oh, he's so cute. And that was sent to, I know.
So
Shelby,
sweet.
can we have your dog?
Yeah.
Super cute. If you have a pet and you would like to see him or her here on Primetime Local News, make sure you send us a photo of them. Please include their name, and if they are shown on the show, you will then be entered to win a gift card to Pet Pad Lloydminster.
We want to see your pet. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Pumpkin carving can take as much or as little time as you want. You can do a lot of different intricate designs, or you can do something a lot simpler depending on how creative you're feeling. We learned a variety of tips today on how to carve our pumpkin, including making sure you select a pumpkin that is good, making sure it sounds like it's hollow inside and it doesn't have any soft spots, so it will last the longest. Using those stencils can get us some different and creative designs, and make sure when you're carving your pumpkins for this Halloween season that you are doing it with care and safety, as the knives are a little bit dangerous. But also tomorrow, our Josh Ryan is going to be filling in. He's going to be live in the field. He's going to be doing a pre-game broadcast for the Bobcats game. So tune in tomorrow to find out all the details on that. But right now, we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with them.
All right, taking a quick look at our 7-day forecast. Gonna be nice at least until the weekend. 10 degrees tomorrow, even warmer on Wednesday, 11, and then even warmer on Thursday, hitting 12 degrees there. Friday, 11 degrees, and the sunshine's gonna be out, and then as of Saturday, we are gonna drop down to those averages. So 8 degrees both Saturday and Sunday, and then a Monday is when we could see some snow, rain activity in the area, 4 degrees there, but as of now, we have a great forecast ahead, at least until the weekend, which is great news for our farmers. And I mean, anytime we're sitting above the average, that's good for me.
That weekend looks beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm already looking forward.
There we go. We'll leave it there, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow right here on PTLN.